Hey Libras, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your January general reading here. So just a couple of quick announcements before I get into your meditation. Firstly, I've opened up some availability for personal readings. Yay! All of that information on how to sign up is over on my website, which is listed in the description box below. I do have limited availability within a relatively short time frame, but I did want to make sure to offer those to you guys going into the new year, and I'm excited to connect with you guys personally. And also, I've opened registration for my Be Your Own Intuitive course. The first course went so well, guys. It was so much fun. It was really, really cool, and I'm really excited to open up registration for the second course. So if you'd like to join me on either of those ventures, all of that is over at my website, which is in the description box below. All right. Let's get opening monologue over. Let's get into your reading. So listen, in your meditation, so it's for January, but I was taken to kind of like the Rockefeller Christmas tree in New York City, but it was like the Rockefeller Christmas tree in the middle of an ice skating rink. And it was a very Christmassy, holiday-esque scene. But then I was taken to this movie. This movie, I don't even know. It's a bit, I think it's from the early noughties or something, but it's called Serendipity. Movie's called Serendipity, and it's with John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale and Jeremy Piven. It's a great film. Check it out if you feel so called, but a lot of the heart of that film is about divine timing and synchronicities, and those synchronicities that you get as confirmations from the universe that you are on your path. I have this very lovely, warm feeling around this for you. I do feel like January for you is going to be so chock full, but I have to be more specific because I feel like it's even, this may have started for some of you in December, okay? Going into January, where it's so chock full of, synchronicities and things that can even appear to be, coincidences, right? That line up to really come through and support you and give you this feeling of, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I feel like I'm on my path. And that is such a beautiful feeling. It also, sort of speaks to being in this place of allowance, where you're just going with the flow of things. So I got that, I felt that, I saw that in your meditation. Then I also saw images. I saw the word organization, and I saw the image of the Libra collective sitting down at like a clean, it was a clean white desk, right? White for me is a symbol of, starting something, embarking upon something, right? Like a clean slate, right? And I saw, like a planner and like a cup of, neatly, freshly sharpened pencils and a date book and like one of those calendars, those big paper calendars that sat on the desk and you can write in. It felt like you are very much this month setting yourself up for, and I know this is a cliche, but this is what it feels like. You are doing everything that they say to do in terms of setting yourself up for success. You are dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and I'm here for it. It's like you are bringing together everything that you need in order to, I want to say, be on top of things, right? It's a really beautiful feeling. It feels kind of like, okay, if any of you guys are familiar with Marie Kondo, which speaks of, removing anything from your space in life that doesn't bring you joy. It feels like this is the result of that, or the feeling that you get after doing that, where everything is in your house and everything around you brings you joy or serves some kind of direct purpose. And I feel like that's a lot deeper than, I feel like this image of the desk, I feel it also speaks to your emotions and your mental state as well, and your physical state. Right? Some of you could be going, I'm going to get back into running, or I'm going to up my game, in terms of the healthy food that I eat. I'm going to incorporate more of this and maybe a little less of this. I mean, there's this really distinct feeling around a fresh start setting you up for success. And it feels really good. It feels really, really good. Okay, let's see what your animal energy is, Libra. Right on. I like it. Ooh. Whoa. Okay, very good. Actually feeling like getting another one for you as well. For some reason, this round 2 have been coming out at a time, so I'm just gonna like go with it. Yeah. Look at this. Okay, so oyster came out with, like, it kind of fell off of my finger, and then crow came out organically as I was shuffling. So guess what? Crow is about signs and synchronicities. That's partly why this channel is called The Crow. Because whenever Crow is around, you're going to see a lot of repeating numbers, a lot of happy, and I'm using air quotes, coincidences that are really synchronicities. It's a sign that magic is nearby and afoot, and you just have so much confirmation and energetic support that you're feeling particularly grounded and in tune at the same time. Because of that, the crow also represents high priestess energy as well, which speaks of being very in tune with your intuition and moving from a place of allowance and instinct, and really tapping into, the perhaps more hidden aspects of yourself in terms of, I need this for this year, I need this moving forward, I want a little bit more of this and a little bit less of this. And some of it may not even be, cognizant necessarily. Like, you could just start making little changes where you're like, oh, I noticed that I started drinking less, and I'm not advocating less coffee. I will never advocate for less coffee, but as an example, I noticed I started drinking less coffee, and I'm drinking more herbal tea. Why? I didn't even make that conscious choices, but it's like your body is asking you, like, hey, let's make these changes, and you're listening to it, right? So it's really beautiful. The oyster is a really beautiful energy too, especially in conjunction with the crow. It's interesting here because both of these, because oyster is like a Four of Pentacles energy, right? Like, this is, clammed up, being in one place without moving, one way or another. But this is beautifully representing what I saw in your meditation, which is that you're ready. Remember, I saw that clean slate. You are ready. You are prepared. Right? You are creating a blank space for yourself within which, this new year can really take hold and manifest for you in a way that is in your highest and best good and beneficial. And I want to say holistically pragmatic. Holistically pragmatic. At the center of the oyster, as we all know, lies the pearl, right? And another aspect of the oyster medicine comes forward to say, like, allow the best parts of you, your talents, what you particularly are good at, your skill set, all the best parts of you, right? The aspects of you that make you a good friend, a good partner, a good student, a good mother, whatever that is for you, allow it to be seen and by the world and shared with those who love you and even those who are yet to love you, right? Which is really interesting too, because going back to the Marie Kondo thing as well, again, that's about clearing your space and only having things that bring you joy within it. And that does feel like the energy here as well. But I also feel like the crow, because the crow can take on a masculine energy as well and speak of, when there is an imbalance or justice or quality that wants to be introduced into a situation, a crow will show up, and a crow energy will show up and say, hey, because they're very vocal, crows. They're very vocal. And so they will speak up and alert you to any imbalance or inequality in your life or atmosphere. Yeah, obsessed. So you have the Eight of Wands here. Libra, this is really cool. And so the Eight of Wands, first of all, wands rule the realm of, passion, desire, artistry. They also rule, the actions that you take. Wands are about action. What am I doing? What am I going to do? And the Eight of Wands is the most fast, forward-moving energy of the entire wand suit, right? Outside of the court cards, of course, because Knight of Wands is technically like the fastest, but this is so beautiful. This is beautiful, fast, forward movement ahead. But I have to tell you what I'm really drawn to here. Remember how we said that the oyster was Four of Pentacles, right? Which is staying in place and allowing the best parts of you to be shared and seen by others. Four of Pentacles, right? Earth energy, although technically oyster is water as well. And then I'm really drawn to the fact that this horse, which is an earth animal, 4 hooves. It's interesting. It almost feels like a bursting forth, right? From where you've been because you're prepared and ready. Again, I get this very distinct feeling that you are setting yourself up for opportunity and happenstance, and you're ready for it. It's really, really beautiful. And again, I just have to keep saying it. I feel like a lot of this is instinctive. I feel like it's a lot less about like making well, maybe for some of you, but I feel like it's a lot less about making an itemized list and going down it and going, I'm going to clear out the garage and set up a workspace. I'm going to do that. A lot of it comes to you instinctively. And it's like you find yourself with a free day and you instinctively feel like, you know what? I really feel like cleaning out that small study space that's serving as storage right now, but I just feel like creating room in there. And then you start chipping away at it, and then suddenly, before you know it, it's become a beautiful study space within which you get really good ideas when you go in there. It's a really beautiful energy. You're working, you're thinking of ideas. It's stuff like that. It's like you're being intuitively moved. Eight of Wands also represents, it's that upward movement and ascension. It's communication, it's messages, it's offers, it's letters, it's job postings, it's conversations, interviews, all of that stuff, right? Eight of Wands, which is really, really beautiful. It feels like you were like steady onward and prepared. And I love it. I just heard build it and they will come. There's an aspect of this as well, right? You're literally creating room for newness, and it's really cool. So you have Two of Pentacles here, so problems of abundance. I always like to say with this key. No, but this is a very positive energy because Two of Pentacles arises when you are called and have a need to multitask and shuffle, right? Because this can be balancing your work life and your personal life. This can be balancing, this stays and this goes. This is considering your options and deciding what to have more of, what to have less of, in what measure or amount do I incorporate X, Y, or Z into my life, right? Pentacles with the earth energy too. This does rule the realm of this is the suit of the merchant, right? So this speaks of the work that we do, employment, money matters of the home, all of that good stuff. I do feel like, interestingly enough, I'm really drawn to these marshes here, which also I have this really distinct feeling where it's like you are really considering what stays and what goes. Hawk energy as well is a Two of Pentacles-esque. I just wrote about this in my newsletter for December, actually. So Hawk energy is very much a Two of Wands energy, which is about creating your blueprint, being your own divine architect and going, where do I want to go from here? And I feel like there's an aspect of that, but I also feel like there's a new line of work or an aspect of work that feels new for you. Or maybe you are rediscovering your relationship to your work in some way. Feels very positive, Libra. Oh my gosh. Wow. Obsessed. Okay, so we have the Tower here, and I want to talk about how great this is, because look at this, look at the difference in this. So first of all, the Tower, you know what I call this key? I always say this is the great rearranger, right? We want to welcome the Tower moments and the Tower energy because the Tower is always in our highest and best good. Now, why is that? It's because it's not about, I always say this to clients, right? It's not about why you don't have what you want or who you don't have, right, that you want. It's about what is keeping you from having it. That's what it is. Oftentimes it's really more about what is in my energy, path, surroundings, mindset that is keeping me from what I want. And I'm going back to that Marie Kondo thing where it's about removing things from your physical space and your energy and your mind and your emotional set that is keeping you from success, abundance, your next best chapter, a clean slate, a clear mind, peace, tranquility, positivity, all of that good stuff, right? And then the Tower energy is coming up here, and it's so fun. These are two very opposite energies because Four of Pentacles is about I'm going to hold tight and just be where I am right now and kind of gather my reserves. And then the Tower is like, boom, shakalaka, right? It's like it changes things, but it also is a change that is, again, removing anything that is keeping you from what you want. That is in your highest and best good, by the way, right? So this is actually a beautiful energy. I also want to point out the fact that how it's depicted in this particular deck is through termites, right? And termites speak of, the house and the home and foundation, right? And I do feel like there is this aspect here of, going back to your roots and probably even going back to the source of something, going back to the beginning and going, and that makes sense too with the Marie Kondo feeling of like, even if the Marie Kondo aspect of it and removing anything that doesn't bring you joy doesn't necessarily translate for you to cleaning your physical space, that could be mental and emotional as well. where you're going back to the root of something. You're going back to a childhood relationship you had. You're going back to past partners. You're going back to certain defining moments in your life path where you made one choice and you're wondering what would have happened if I made another. I'm actually getting a book coming to me around this. It's called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I cannot recommend this book enough, but I'm getting a similar feeling from that, because that book is very much about understanding and embodying the truth that truly, and I say this all the time because I believe it to my core, and I've seen evidence of this in my life over and over and over. We are our choices. We are our choices. Nothing is just like outside of our, I don't want to say control, but we have facility around our lives at all times, right? In the context of our choices. It doesn't mean we can control everything, but we can choose how we respond to things and not react, right? It feels like you're really moving into a new time here, Libra, and it feels quite nice. 8 of Wands. Ooh! There we go. Flippity flops. Yep. Yep. So look at this 7 of Cups. What are we talking about? Remember when I was talking about optionality and going a little bit more of this and a little bit less of that? 7 of Cups is considering your options. This is exactly what we've been talking. Oh God, look how fabulous the pink. You're really considering your options. I'm actually really drawn to the pink in terms of the heart chakra, which also speaks of the color green as well with the snake here. So I do feel like there's an aspect of heart healing that wants to be done here. And, letting go of anything that may be subconsciously dictating your choices. Okay, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by things that could be subconsciously dictating your choices? So are you a response to your past or a product of it, right? Meaning, are you subconsciously choosing your relationships based on old learned patterns of, my worth is, this is just an example, my worth is best defined by the partner that I'm with. Maybe that's something that you learned, in some early relationships, or even through your parents by watching them, or through whatever that was, right? And it is subconsciously affecting the partners that you choose, because you choose partners, that are holding up that lesson for you and constantly testing, your own self-worth. And maybe that manifests as, ending up with people who put you down a lot, or criticize you, or don't value your worth, because that's what the universe does, right? Again, what have we been talking about? It's not about why you don't have what you want, it's about what's keeping you from it. So just for an example, if you're looking to manifest, a happy, equal, like the crow, balanced partnership, right? And you're going, what is keeping me, why don't I have it? Why don't I have it? Let's flip that question and go, what's keeping you from it? What in yourself is keeping you from becoming a vibrational match to a happy partnership? First of all, are you the kind of partner that you would want to be with, right? Second of all, is there anything in your energy or thought process that is, not beneficial to attracting someone who has a high self-esteem, has a valued sense of self-worth, right? Because it's this partner that you're looking to attract, it's not going to go very far if you aren't your own best partner first. And I know that that's a cliche, but that's an example. And we can talk about that in terms of work and family across many different spheres of life and experience, right? But that's what I feel like this is for you. You are picking and choosing and removing anything that doesn't bring you joy or belong in your life, or you can't see in your path ahead, right? It's like you've gotten the memo and you're doing the work, and it's very nice. Very nice. And I do see you going like, what is going to bring me more of what I want? How can I do that? How can I manifest that? What changes can I make around that, right? Researching, looking at things online, looking more into things, getting more informed and educated, all of that. So you have the Queen of Swords. This is exactly what we're saying. First of all, if you've been following me for any length of time, and if not, and you're new, welcome. But if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I equate Libras with butterflies. For it's many reasons that I equate you guys with butterflies, and they're all good reasons. But I love that you got this with the butterfly on the Queen of Swords here, because I love it when you show up in your own reading as the butterfly that you are. Butterflies also, and I feel the need to speak about this for your energy for January, but also Libras in general. If you think of a butterfly, that they are, pros at metamorphosis, right? change. When they go into their chrysalis, right, they can only bring themselves in there. They don't have any baggage. There's only room for one in the chrysalis. They can only bring what's absolutely necessary within themselves, you know, energetically speaking, into that chrysalis, and they transform with these wings. And a butterfly cannot fly if it's weighed down at all. Now, as that translates to an energy or animal totem or medicine, right, is to move forward with a lightness of heart, a lightness of being, optimism, hope, faith, and clarity. It is about removing any baggage that is weighing you down and keeping you from your highest and best. And that is what the Queen of Swords is coming in here to say. Man, I love the Queen of Swords. I really, really do. I'm an air sign too, so Queen of Swords all day, every day. But she's very much about this stays and this goes. She's the Marie Kondo without any sugar on it. You know what I mean? She's like, no. But see how she's dressed in this translucent kind of shift here? You know, it's very symbolic too, because she sees to the core of things and going, I will listen to everything you have to say, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to sway me outside of what I know to be true. She cannot and will not be swayed, but she's also amazingly fair. And because she is so discerning, she's the queen of discernment, because she is so discerning, she never has regrets. Ever has regrets, right? Which is also taking back to this oyster thing, right? I feel like there's some hidden gems in here for you in terms of what can be released and what wants to be embraced. Okay? Stunning. Stunning. All right. Woo! Clarifier for the tower. Woo! Yes! I'm obsessed. So remember when I said that the hawk energy was a Two of Wands energy? Yeah. And now you have Two of Wands here. I'm all about it. God, look at how fabulous. I love these decks. So like I said, I already spoke about this. Two of Wands is being your own divine architect and making your own blueprint and going, what's next? What do I want? Do you see how she's standing here and she's got her phone and she's looking out at the ocean? She's choosing this. She's choosing what's ahead. She's choosing to upgrade because this wand is a bit taller than this one. So it's like she's reaching for the stars. She's reaching for it. She's, coming from a place of optimism and hope, right? Because doesn't she just take this image in. Look at how confident this beautiful lady looks, right? I'm also, really drawn to the colors here. So she's wearing a white top, which I saw in the earlier meditation, with red and orange, which also speak of the lower chakras as well, right? With the root chakra and the sacral chakra, right? So it's really interesting here because there is this distinct feeling along with this earth energy of being grounded and coming from a place where you have plans, you are moving on opportunities, and you are setting yourself up for success. And again, I'm really drawn to this phone. Remember I saw with the Eight of Wands that there's, it's a lot about messaging and communication as well. And I do feel like there's a lot of that going on with them for you. And just remember too, that again, back to the tower, this is really happy because this is also goes to show that okay, look at it from this perspective. Look at this from this perspective. If you go about making changes or making plans and it doesn't seem to amount or equate to anything because the timing isn't right, that can be incredibly frustrating and disheartening, right? But this is the opposite of that. You are intuitively moved to make these changes, right? So you are, and be open to these ideas and synchronicities. Remember, you're going to be getting signs and synchronicities from the universe. So it's going to be right there for you, right? All you have to do is be open and pay attention, right? Come from a place of, mindfulness, right? So this tower coming in with the Two of Wands, the choices that you make from the energy that you have available to you in January, should you choose to do so, is going to make marked changes in your life that have long-lasting effects. So you're in a powerful energy right now. It's like you're in an opportune energy right now, where the choices you make as they are divinely guided and supported by the universe through synchronicities and happenstance and messaging and intuition with the High Priestess, right? And whatever else is going to lead you through a series of events and down a road ahead that is so much more than you've ever had before. In a good way. How beautiful is this? I also feel a very distinct call around the home life, again, with the physical things. You could be considering, living somewhere else, another reality, what your day-to-day looks like from a home perspective as well. Let's go ahead and get an oracle for y'all. Let's do it. I also feel like for another group of you guys, with the oyster here as well and the pearl, I feel like some of you guys are being called to remember what your talents are. And that could, come forward as things you used to love to do as a child, whatever else have you. But there's an aspect of your truth that wants to be spoken, especially if you're a writer, okay? Even if you're not a writer, writing and journaling, I feel like it's going to be enormously helpful for clarity and guidance. Oh my God, stop! Flow. What were we talking about at the very beginning of this reading? That knowing that you're supported by the universe and seeing all the signs and synchronicities is a sign from spirit that you are in a state of flow and allowance and acceptance. Libra, when I tell you that you are in a sweet spot for January, honey, you are in a sweet spot for January. Pie and ice cream. I'm so serious. Flow. This speaks of, allowing yourself to be moved from a place of inspiration and intuition. Right? A little bit more of this, a little bit less of that. I feel like just coming from that intuitive place. Let me tell you something. When you are in a place of true flow and you're on that river, that is the river from which you manifest a life of your wildest dreams. This is where you manifest from. Flow. This is the key. This is the password. This is the zhuzh. Right? This is it. Libra, I'm so obsessed with this for you. Look at how beautiful this is. Again, your intuition is your best friend right now. Signs and synchronicities from the universe. By the way, as you see the signs and synchronicities from the universe that are coming forward to support you on this path, it is really helpful and important to acknowledge them, because that will also allow them to keep flowing to you as well, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's say that you wake up in the morning and there's a cardinal sitting outside your window and you're really drawn to the cardinal and you're like, oh, what a beautiful cardinal. And then the cardinal flies away and then you log onto your computer and you get an email from a mailing list and the title is cardinal directions. And you're like, oh. So in that moment going, okay, I acknowledge you. Thank you for that. And then you get in your car and you're driving and, a truck pulls up next to you and, it's the Cardinal Moving Company. Just taking a moment to acknowledge it silently. You don't have to say a whole monologue or anything, but unless you want to. But just taking a moment to say I see you, Cardinal. I see you, Spirit. I see you, Universe. I see you and thank you. Right? And that allowed it to keep coming to you. And then you can also look into what cardinals mean and consider how they came up in the context, right? Cardinal outside of your window where you live, a cardinal through a message, and then a cardinal through a mode of transport. Ooh, could be some hints in there. Go journal about it, think about it, meditate about it. Live within that question, right? Go for a run and mull it over, right? I'm obsessed. Libra, this was so beautiful. I love this for you. I am wishing you a most happy and beautiful and amazing January in 2021 furthermore. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much. And as always, and most importantly, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.